Okay, imagine this. A school. But one that doesn't just promise to teach you how to act, but promises to help you. Like, become everyone so you can actually find yourself.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wild concept, right? So today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of Maskewyn Academy. It's this legendary place, apparently quite transformative,
Mhm.
dedicated to performing arts, film, but also something they call identity alchemy.
Yeah, and we've got these excerpts from a source called Maskewyn Academy, The Art of Identity Metamorphosis. And honestly, it paints this picture of a place that's, well, it's really not like your typical drama school at all.
Right. So our mission today, for you listening, is to really unpack what makes this place tick, its core ideas, these really immersive environments they have, and the curriculum, which seems totally unique. It sounds less like a school, more like a, I don't know, a secret society for transformation.
That's a good way to put it.
We want to explore how this whole approach, using performance, aims to unlock hidden truths, all by becoming someone else. So let's start with their motto, maybe. Per persona veritas, which means three character, truth. Okay, that tells you something right off the bat, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It signals straight away this isn't just about like learning lines or stage presence.
No.
Maskewyn seems to believe that every mask, every persona you put on is sacred. But it's also a mirror reflecting something back at you. It's about really structured, deep identity exploration. The idea, it seems, is that all human personas, all the ways we can be, are just different facets of some shared emotional core. And by studying roles across time, culture, genre, even different psychological states, performers don't just find their craft, they find themselves.
So it's not about pretending, it's more like unlocking parts of yourself or truths about humanity by actually becoming someone else, like a shortcut, maybe.
Kind of, yeah. A shortcut through immersion.
Yeah.
A really intense experiential lens on understanding people, including yourself.
Okay, let's talk about the campus then, because you mentioned immersive environments, and the description, well, it's not just buildings, is it? Each wing is set up like a whole different stage environment.
Exactly. Students physically cross into these different psychological and artistic dimensions. This is where it gets really fascinating, I think.
Tell me more.
Okay, so take the Veil Wing. This place focuses on mask work, classical theater, think ancient Greek tragedy, Japanese, no, commedia dell'arte, that kind of thing.
Right, the classics.
Yeah, but the twist is the Mirror Lab. Here, students perform wearing masks they've actually designed themselves based on their own inner archetypes.
Wow, so they're like making their subconscious visible and then performing it?
Basically, yeah. Externalizing it, then embodying it. It's a tool for self-reflection, but also connecting to these universal human patterns, these archetypes.
Okay, that's deep. How does that then, move into more dynamic stuff, more interaction?
Well, that leads you right into the Crimson Curtain. This area is all about immersive theater, really embodying a role fully. They have these emotional mapping sessions.
Emotional mapping, what's that?
Imagine trying to chart the entire emotional journey of a character, like a psychological GPS for their transformation. And this prepares them for the persona arena.
Persona arena. Sounds intense.
It is. Students get thrown into these live surprise role battles. They have to instantly, empathetically embody a character on the spot. It's all about radical adaptability,
Yeah.
and that immediate deep connection.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like serious training for emotional agility.
Yeah.
What about the voice? How do they handle vocal work in this immersive way?
Well, then you have the echo halls. This is dedicated to vocal technique, but also vocal healing, opera, spoken word. They learn how tone, pitch, even silence can be storytelling tools.
So not just projecting.
Not just projecting, they even have whisper chambers. Tiny spaces for practicing micro-emotional delivery, honing those really subtle vocal expressions. The idea is that your voice is a direct line to your soul, not just sound.
Interesting. And what about film? So much theater focus, but you mentioned cinematic arts too.
Right, they bridge it. There's the celluloid quarter. This covers acting for film, directing, cinematography. It has a dream lab, which sounds amazing for making surrealist psychological short films, pushing visual storytelling boundaries.
Dream lab.
And then there are the real set rooms. These are fully dressed, totally flexible studio sets. They can simulate basically any alternate world. It lets students just jump into creating and living in cinematic realities. Really highlights how environment shapes character,
Totally. It all sounds incredibly hands-on. Now, what about these? Masquerade seminars. They sound mysterious. Anonymous midnight classes.
Yeah, these are really something else. Midnight only. Masks are mandatory. Even the instructors wear masks, apparently never reveal who they are. Seriously. All the teaching is done entirely in character. It's this strange mix of, like, mystery and intense discipline. The point seems to be learning and communicating without the usual baggage of personal identity, forcing you to engage purely with the ideas, the roles.
Wow, okay. That's different. Are there other spaces that really push this transformation idea?
Oh, yeah. There's the loop room. This space is designed to train adaptability, fluidity, emotional depth. They do it through role repetition, but constantly shifting the conditions, the emotion, the environment, the power dynamics.
Like running the same scene 100 different ways.
Kind of, yeah, but focused on mastering change itself.
Hmm.
Then there's the Chamber of Doubles. This is all about empathy. It's partner work where students intensely study and then portray each other.
Portray each other.
Yeah, to build profound emotional intelligence, mutual vulnerability. It's like a direct path into understanding someone else's inner world by literally trying to embody it.
So much of this sounds like deep psychological work, honestly. Way beyond just acting techniques. What happens to all these characters, these transformations? Is there a sense of history?
That's where the Archive of Roles comes in. It's described as a living library. It stores records of every character ever portrayed at Maskewyn. We're talking costumes, masks, monologues, even journals kept in character.
Like sacred texts.
Exactly. They're treated that way. Students can apparently borrow a legacy role, study its history, and then add their own performance to its lineage. It suggests identity isn't just personal, but part of this shared, ongoing human story.
That's beautiful, actually.
And one more really experimental space, the Hall of Unreliable Narrators. It's an acting zone where students secretly swap roles during scenes. The focus is on perceptual distortion, empathy, trying to navigate a scene where authorship and identity are constantly shifting, unclear.
You'd have to really trust your intuition there.
Absolutely. It's about navigating ambiguity.
Just imagine spending your days stepping into all these different psychological shoes. The level of empathy, the understanding you'd gain. It's just a remarkable way to think about personal development, not just performance.
And the curriculum itself reflects that. It's explicitly designed for personal discovery. It goes way beyond standard acting classes.
How so? What kind of classes are we talking about?
Well, they start with archetypal performance. Students explore these big mythic roles, the rebel, the queen, the orphan, the ones. It's not just playing a part. It's about understanding these universal patterns of human behavior that echo through myths and stories.
So starting broad, with the universal human templates almost, then where do they go?
From there, they get into alter ego construction. This is about building complete fictional identities from the ground up. Mannerisms, detailed backstories, costumes, dialects, the whole package.
So consciously creating a new self.
Exactly. Demonstrating how fluid identity can be, how intentional you can be about it. And then there's historical reincarnation studios.
Historical reincarnation.
Yeah, it sounds like daily improvisation sessions where students just live as a person from a different century. For hours, maybe. It really forces you to feel how deeply culture and historical context shape who we are, how we see the world.
That's intense immersion. What about, well, personal stuff? Does that come into play?
Directly. They have psychodrama and healing performance. This uses your own personal experiences, even trauma, as raw material. You might turn it into a monologue, a poem, some kind of performance ritual. It's explicitly using the dramatic arts for therapeutic processing.
Wow. That's a powerful link between art and healing. Anything else that stands out in the curriculum?
A couple more things. The soul as script. Here, you write, direct, and perform a story that comes directly from your subconscious, like a deep dive into your own psyche, turned into art.
Very personal.
Very. And then immersive world building. This isn't just about directing scenes. It's about learning to direct entire psychological environments. It emphasizes how our inner worlds can actually shape or be reflected in our outer realities.
Okay, so putting it all together, this curriculum really isn't just about becoming a better actor, is it? What's the deeper shift they're aiming for?
It's definitely something more profound. It's using all these dramatic techniques, mask work, improv, role-playing, storytelling, for deep self-exploration, for building emotional intelligence, empathy, and, like we said, even for healing.
Right.
And the Academy is clear about this. They say they welcome aspiring performers, sure, but also healers, directors, just seekers of self. Prior acting experience isn't the main thing. Emotional courage is what they ask for.
Emotional courage. That says a lot.
It really does. That focus on inner transformation, that's the huge difference here.
And then it all leads up to graduation, which they call the unmasking. Can you describe that?
Yeah, it's apparently this private ceremony held at twilight. Each graduating student performs a final, deeply personal one-character play, something that symbolizes their whole journey, their transformation at the academy. And then, at the very end, they remove their final mask, a symbolic one, presumably, and cast it into something called the Ember Pool. The idea is they enter the world reborn, transformed.
Casting off the final mask.
Wow. So if you connect all these dots, right, the philosophy, the environment, the curriculum, this final ritual, Maskewyn seems to be blending psychology, theater, film, even myth, into this single, incredibly immersive experience.
It's not just about performing others.
No, it's focused on discovering who you could become. The unmasking ritual really captures it. Sometimes you have to symbolically let go of old identities, old masks, to embrace a more integrated, authentic self.
It really does sound like a society of transformation. Much more than just a school. It's not performance class. It's metamorphosis. So we've journeyed through Maskewyn Academy, at least in spirit, a place where it seems you're actively encouraged to laugh, cry, vanish into a role, and then reappear. Hopefully changed.
Yeah, the whole idea seems to be summed up in that phrase. See through 10,000 eyes, forget your own name, but only for long enough to finally remember it, maybe more clearly.
Right.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if real self-discovery doesn't just come from looking inward all the time? What if it comes from looking outward through as many different perspectives as possible, embodying them, really feeling them, and then bringing that understanding back to yourself?
That's a fascinating thought. And maybe for you, listening, the biggest performance you'll ever take on is just becoming more fully yourself. Even if that means trying on a few masks along the way, seeing what fits, what teaches you something, what hidden truths might you uncover if you dared to step into a different role, even just for a little while.